Well, hello everybody and happy Tuesday. Here we are live and for the love of dragons. Figured out all this stuff with where to find the live button now. They've changed it. You know, we got to always keep updated with technology, which is not easy. So hello everybody. My name is AndaRa, the Dragon Lady. If you are not familiar with me yet, you're new to the group. We always have lots of new people joining. Because the dragons are prevalent, they have been really working in the last 3 or 4 years especially. They've been around for quite some time, but they've been really coming into mainstream. They've been really starting to work more directly with people, and so people are constantly searching and having those questions of why is this dragon showing up? What does this mean? And so that's where I come in. That's why I created this group over 4 years ago. It's what we talk about each week. Having pieces come in of, all right, you have a question, post it in the group or email or message it to me, because that's the focus that I try to do each week on these lives. And of course, when there are any questions, I get to choose what I want to talk about, which is always fun too, or do a dragon reading. We might do one of those today. But when you're starting your journey, and whether you're far along with it and you're really familiar with the dragons, or they're all new to you and you're just reaching out and going, I need some direction. I need to know that I'm not crazy. That's what this group is for. That's why we're here. That's why we come together, to share our stories, to give you insight. So trying to come on with tidbits every week that will help you see and know, all right, what's the next step? How do I get more information out of this? How do I really comprehend what's happening with my body or with my journey, or why these things keep showing up? It's all part of it. And I would say one of the best tools, hands down, is these free video archives. So if you're in for the Love of Dragons group, if you're not, please join us. But if you're in the group, and it's for the love, capital L-O-V-E, because we love our dragons, there are lots of video archives every week. It's sort of hard to search. It's not an easily searchable tool in the Facebook group thing for the archives. But there's a YouTube channel. So seek up Invoke Healing International on the YouTube channel. Full dragon playlist every week for the last 4 years. There's a topic, there's a question, there was new information, stuff that I've shared, downloads, meditations. Something in there might be with your next step, and it's free. It's a database of useful tools that I put out, and it's to get you started. It's to get your toes wet. It's to maybe see, you know, you might have been working with the dragons for years, and all of a sudden you're like, you know, I watched something somewhere where I feel like I need some inspiration. Zip through it. Let your heart speak and show you which one you need to hear on that day or that moment. It's why I come on. It's what I'm doing here. So what I wanted to bring in today, because there's been a lot of crystal and rainbow energy around my field and around my group. You know, I work every week with the Quantum Flight program, which is a new version of the Way of the Dragon Heart that I do. And that journey is about stepping into Hubie, and a big part of that process is stepping into your crystalline field, which is part of our ascension process that everybody's starting to move into right now. The quantum field is available. The fifth dimensional realm is accessible now. It's beginning to be tangible around us. It's drawing us in so that we can, hello Liz, good to see you. Hello Akira, good to see you. So as we move into that and it's accessible, more stuff starts to happen with our body because we're starting to integrate more. And a lot of you may not have realized, and if you haven't got the book, that's another great tool for a very small investment. $22 gets you an ebook with a full 13-track CD along with it that will help you learn how to work with the dragons, that gets you into that and explains all the way up to the crystalline level, the Orion dragons, the Syrian dragons, the elementals are within that. And in that process, a deeper understanding. Hello, Gabby. I hope your little one's doing well. In that process, coming into awareness of how big and important the crystal dragon piece is. And that's what was on my heart to talk about today. The significance of the crystal dragon for our journey. Why do I feel this? Why do I keep hearing the term crystalline? I didn't even know there was a crystal dragon, or maybe I've seen the crystal dragon, but I didn't really know, like, wow, it really has a big meaning. So as we go through our ascension process, you are slowly raising your vibrational level to actually have a DNA shift. You might have heard lots of different talk out there about people doing activations, getting your DNA into crystalline format again, having it recode itself or restring, remember itself back to its original design, so the original perfected human form. We were higher vibrational. We have dropped down in density to come into this field. For those that are light workers, that are, whether you're Starseed, Dragon, Angelic Being, wherever you come from, those of you that have an association with Dragon usually find me. But in that, it means it's coded into your body. It's coded into your form. We've dropped down into this polarized experiment. We've dropped down into 3D density, which is linear, which is polar, which is duality. And now that we're going to raise out of it, the path we came in, and this is explained in the book, and I go into it in detail in the programs, the path we came in is the remembrance to go out, to raise back out of it. And the crystal becomes significant because after we heal and remove with the elementals and the black and white dragons, which are there are 6 pillars. I'm so excited that you love your crystal. Oh my goodness, these are the 2 you have, Kira, yes. So yes, Robin is saying she loves her prints. She got the 16 by 20s of the rainbow and the crystal dragon actually on her wall, arrived this week. Pretty excited to hear that. Awesome. So in this process, the elementals and the black and white dragons are very present with humanity because they help move stuff out of the physical, mental, emotional, and energy bodies. They work with the base level stuff. They help it just be pulled out, and they work very rapidly. That's their gift. They work very efficiently. They don't cut corners, but they go in with their massive capacity and really pull stuff out of your field very, very quickly and bring you that realization, bring you that awareness, and that realignment. You know, you can call it healing. It's really a realignment or a reconfiguration back into your original settings, so to speak. You know, a lot of analogies come through in metaphors with computer stuff, and because the computer speak actually very much fits the coded system that we operate within in higher dimensional planes. So it's a great analogy tool to sort of wrap your head around some of the things. So beyond that, when those 6 pairs, so think about that, 6 pairs of masculine and feminine, that creates 12. A lot of people know about a 12-stranded DNA process. Well, when you go beyond that and you bring the crystal in and you bump up already to a triangulation, trine formation, you bring in the crystal element and it starts amping everything up. So the crystal dragon is the doorway to that. The crystal dragon is the key pin of that activation, of that piece. So when the crystal dragon starts showing up, or you want to start calling it in because you feel ready for some shifts forward, you're going to start having some very rapid activation and ascension pieces going on, because as you work with that crystal dragon and you're ready, those pieces will start to move into crystal, and you actually have that configuration be remembered. That's not a double helix, it's a trinary helix, and the crystal is the pinpoint. That energy moving through your body will begin to make rapid shifts in what you're feeling physically for ascension issues, or ascension symptoms, people call them, or awareness of feeling like things are shifting. And I will tell you, the biggest shift you're going to have moving into the quantum field, into 5D, is about perspective. It's not necessarily about the world around you changing, it's you changing in relation to the world, because you move into a higher perspective of it vibrationally. And as that brings in remembrance, so you have a lot more awareness, you see it for what it is, you get a different experience with it. So the crystal, hello Tina, the crystal is that doorway key. If you imagine Gaia as a body and think micro macro, always what happens to you on the micro level is happening on the macro level. If you can see it and perceive it at the macro level, you can then turn and apply it to yourself. Your AndaRa crystal, Gabby, is a perfect representation of the crystal dragon. How exciting. Absolutely. And I'm wearing mine today. Yes, the AndaRa crystals are a higher octave within the crystalline lineage family. And they carry, I could do a whole class on just the AndaRa dragons. And they do hold that. It's a perfect representation of the crystal dragon, but it's a higher octave, so it's helping remember that much more. So with the crystal piece, if you imagine the earth, and she has a crystalline core, which she does, dimensionally, it might be dropped down into physical 3D elemental makeup of that, but when you perceive it in its higher octave, it's pure crystal. What is the highest form of crystal? Zero occlusions is a Herkimer diamond. So when it goes into, when she actually advances, she's going to move into diamond state. So will we. The journeys will parallel. But right now it's full crystalline, and that crystalline has expanded through her body. She's actually activated to that level and going through her process, and we are mirroring that. So if you have a crystalline core, or if you have a crystalline, for my dragon hearts, you have it looks like a Herkimer diamond, or the double Merkaba 4-base pyramid diamond. That's what a dragon heart looks like. It's the same doorway. It's a doorway inside your heart space. It is crystalline in nature, and when you start connecting with that, that's going to take you into those processes, into that remembrance, and into those activations. What is the key to doing that? If you don't know how, you don't know what you're doing, call in the crystal dragon. It's in the book, The Dragon Within, so dragonwithin.com. Whether you go to look for crystals or canvases at /lair, or you just go in and look, peruse, read. There's some history about the dragons on there. There's free meditation. There's a breathing track to listen to that triggers a lot of memory bank with the dragons. So there's tools on different levels for everybody at whatever stage they're at with the dragons. There are meditation. There's guided meditation with the dragons. But as I was saying in the book, there's a track that goes along with it, so you can hear the mantra in the background and let it loop behind you to go into a meditative space and call in the crystal dragon and see what they have as a reflection for you. So the crystal dragon is here to reflect back for you. They hold that mirror of reflection, and as you feel that mirror of reflection and you step into it and align with it, you feel yourself becoming immersed and drawn forward into the crystalline field. And that's where shifts start happening. That's where activations start happening. And, you know, I facilitate a lot of that in my sessions, but this is pieces that you can start with on your own. You know, you might be not really ready to do a session or a group program or anything like that, but it doesn't mean that there aren't tools out there for you to start seeing and really comprehending on a deeper level what the crystalline aspect is and what part of it plays in your body, in your ascension process, because your physical body is actually going to go through a lot of dramatic shift in the next phase of evolution, where we merge with our light body. We merge fully with our dragon. That is what I talked about in the last week or two, of what it means to be who you be. What is that higher element of being? And moving into that. And the crystal dragon holds so many keys within that. And I have the rainbow dragon here because if you take the crystal and you move it upward octaves, what is octaves? It's vibrational dimensional layers. Move up in octaves of vibration. Then you are, so, oh, aha, great question, Kira. That's funny because that ran through my mind. So Robin is asking, when are you holding an AndaRa dragon class? And I actually had that flash through the back of my mind when I said that about, you know, I could probably talk a whole class on the AndaRa dragons alone. Maybe I need to create one of those. So the hard part is that Saturdays are typically what works for everybody. Maybe I'll try and find a weeknight when I could do it so that it's after work for people to be able to join in, because it would be a powerful one, and it might be really appropriate right now, moving into the octaves of the higher vibrations that people are ready for. Do you think Rainbow Dragon is related to the Rainbow Kids? Absolutely, Gabby. Great question. Those that are coming in. So when we say the Rainbow Kids, that it's this new, what was the previous generation? They were the crystal children, right? Oh, my old body's tingling on this. What was before that? We had all the indigos and the millennials and Generation X, all these different things. Well, those were vibrational relevance. The indigos are the ones that are here to bring the Akashic memory. So the indigo is the Pleiadian dragon that holds the Akashic records, very high vibrational. I'm working with them with my quantum flight program right now. But that indigo ray, that indigo element with all the indigo generations, of which I'm one of those first branches, is about holding the templates for the Akashic memory, which is the cellular soul memory, to be brought back in. That's why we're the forefront. We're the wave forward of maybe the front crest of waking up to lead the pack forward, to be those guides, because we hold the remembrance keys and codes. And all the dragons hold codes of some kind, but we hold the keys to unlock the memory banks, the cellular memory banks, the soul level Akash records, in order to guide people forward to where we're at now. Then we have the crystal children come in, trying to anchor that crystalline template in the field that they came in. So when we call them the crystalline children, they came in already holding that vibrational sequence. So they came in already holding the crystalline activation template pretty much in place. Even though they may get veiled and forget some of it, it's going to flip on really, really quickly when they're ready, if it's not already. Most of the crystal generation I know, and sorry, I'm going to try and read that comment. It's long, so it's tiny. You know your baby's crystal and rainbow. So there probably are, there is some crossover, but the those crystalline templates, those kids, I know more teen to youth 20-year-olds that are on fire with what they're here for, what they're supposed to be doing, than I've ever met in previous generations. Like, they came in already where I had to go through when I had my awakening. And my awakening did happen about the time they started to be born. So there's something within that of when we actually got our own activation codes triggered, right? Just by their presence, by that coming in. And now we see this rainbow generation coming in, the rainbow kids holding that. So what's the rainbow dragon? And this is a great question, Abby, because that's where I was going next with this, and why I have the rainbow dragon around me as well today. Is the rainbow dragon, if you look at it, is a higher octave of the crystal. So the crystal is still densified enough, lowered vibrationally enough for us to perceive the crystalline structure, the almost physical template of the body. You can see the outline. You could reach out and probably touch it, and when you're working with them, that level of structure is more densified. But if you were to raise that up, if the crystalline dragon truly went into its higher vibrational fullness of higher vibrational octave and wanted to ascend up itself up in lineage, it would move up into the rainbow dragon. And this is why when you have a crystal hanging in your window, or you work with a crystal dragon or a crystal in your hands, and it reflects all of the colors of the prism, right? Even those colors that our eyes can't perceive yet, but we are moving into perceptive abilities with that. When that is present, that's how you can tell the lineage connection between the crystal and the rainbow. And that is, the rainbow is up in that more almost like vaporous level of non-density that we interface with when we're connecting with those higher vibrational dragons. That rainbow element is the same refraction of all those rays that move through the crystal, and just at a higher vibrational level. So you will be called to work with the rainbow dragon when you've moved through a lot of work with the crystal dragon, or even when you're ready for pieces that are a little bit higher. And you don't have to work in sequence anymore. You don't have to work linearly. Everything is spherical. So you might find yourself bopping around with this piece going very high, this piece pulling in still elemental, right over here staying in the crystal. So we get this bopping around, but that's why there's so many dragons available to work with us now. I mean, if you've seen the deck, I only put 44 of them in here because it's enough. It's a base foundation for work. And when you feel that the new kids coming in, it's because we're ready to have their template. So they're able to come in even maintaining that template. Why? Because the quantum fifth dimensional field is around us. It's available on the earth now, so they can actually tap into it to be fully themselves. That's why they're expressed as rainbow kids. They're holding and able to interface with that template and help bring that bridge across. They are holding. And it's interesting because paradox works as where there's two sides of everything. Yes, they're holding it, but they're helping like anchor it. Because it's already anchored, it's helping them to anchor in and pull their gifts forward and to be present with that, which is making it available for more and more people. But because of the front line that like set it up, they could be born into it. So it's got those paradoxical aspects. It's not dualistic. It's not it's not linear duality stretched out. It's the polarized side of two sides of a coin that are at that 0-point doorway. And that's part of the understanding we come into now in this new realm. So this is the importance of the crystal dragon as the first octave into that full body remembrance, full body activation of your crystalline templates. And I just wanted to be sure, talking about this today, everybody that's listening to this or going to watch it on the replay, caught it live, maybe you haven't been on a live in ages, and you're like, wow, that popped up, I'm supposed to be on that. It's because you're ready to do that work. So pay attention to that. Call the crystal dragon in. You might have had them in your dreams or showing up already. Now you can have a little deeper understanding why, and I encourage you to go in. Let me just pull up the crystal from the book just to give the key words that I've actually used with it in the book template. And it is reflection, but also clarity, confidence, and trust in self. Why are those the key words for the crystal dragon? Clarity, confidence, and trust in self. Because those are key elements of the doorway through the crystal dragon. The doorway to your ascension, the 0 point doorway that is your access point to 5D and beyond, to moving into the quantum field, is going to involve clarity, confidence. That means no fear, no doubt. Drop it behind you. Fully confidence and trust in self. Your trust in self is your higher self, your higher knowing. The knowing that you have coming in, and are you following it? Are you aligning to it? Are you letting your heart lead the way? Because it will take you through that doorway. And the reflection aspect of the crystal dragon is exactly that, because the crystal dragon who comes in to work with you will literally reflect back to you, whether in streams of color that can give you insight to look into, or in actual images and pictures, or just sensation, feeling. Everyone gets their information in a different way, but they're going to reflect back to you exactly what is out of alignment, or what you can see you've accomplished. Both. If there's occlusions in crystals, they're showing a distortion, right? They're showing something that will refract the light differently than the pure, clear, transparent crystal facets. Let that speak to you. Let your heart receive those reflections, because that will take you into contemplations, and the mental body's got to be released, but the contemplation allows awareness, new perception to come in. New perception is going to take you into that higher perspective, to be sitting in a fifth dimensional perspective, getting clarity on what you've actually been living, what is actually happening around you, the deeper truth, which gives you confidence and knowing to trust yourself more deeply, that, oh my gosh, I finally see clearly. That came from within me. Got it. Another level of confidence. It builds on itself. So that was the message to come in today for everybody. I do feel it's interesting because I can feel when Tana is present and very clearly speaking through me, and I know that my eyes shift, and there's a I'll get back to that. Is the Rainbow Dragon Syrian? There's a transference of energy that happens now. My field has gone from transmission or download, where things used to come through, and you'd feel like this stream of energy coming directly towards you from the screen or from watching, and you may feel it differently now, where I can feel a transference of energy happening now, and it's like a download, but it's dropped down into our level where it's now transferring directly through my body, which means it's being received through your body rather than straight at you. And paying attention to, like, just feeling that spatial, I guess would be the word, where it's coming in lots of different cells in your body simultaneously, rather than in the past where you might have felt it come through the heart chakra and expand from there. That you're going to start feeling that energy popping through parts of your body, most particularly possibly in your spine, like an electrical charge. So just feel and allow that. So is the Rainbow Dragon, the question was, is the Rainbow Dragon part of the Syrian lineage? No. The Rainbow Dragon comes from the Rainbow Realms, very different family. It is in the love lineage. It's in that same crystal octave with any of the water lineage stones. So this is an AndaRa that's aligned with that. The aquamarine stones, the sapphire dragon, the water dragon, the silver dragon, that love lineage. That's why it's about the heart. The crystal core is your heart. It is the love lineage. The rainbow is a higher octave within that, but the Rainbow Dragon actually hails from the Rainbow Realms, which is different than the actual dragon realms. There are many realms that dragons hail from. So this was a great question, because this might be another level of realization of the Rainbow Dragons can now come directly, much like the Lyrans can. In the past, they've had to come in almost on a sideways tangent to get into the stream of energy coming in. And what's interesting is I'm just now receiving this clarity of the process of transference being exactly the same on the micro scale. That I used to have to receive in a direct line, much like the energies coming down through the Pleiades, through the Sirian, through the Orion, and this is the diagram in the book, and into the elemental field, into the earth, that everything had to come in on that line of energy coming into the earth. And now realizing that because we've evolved to a certain point and the system in the Pleiades has shifted, that there's no longer that need for that it can be like for Gaia's body transference directly, where they can go and communicate directly, and we receive information multispatially, like in multiple places within the field all at once, rather than that singular direction, which also aligns to non-linear, more spherical in nature, that it pops through in lots of places at once. So take all those concepts. I just dropped in a whole bunch of keys and codes for you guys. Like, that conversation has so many layers to it that I'm realizing now, many of you that are beginners, some are Dragon Hearts, you're all at different phases, and you all just got something as a pickup in that field. And I think that's why the transference was happening, that you can go and listen to this playback multiple times. I would encourage you to, like, every couple of weeks, go listen to it again. Tag it on the YouTube channel, like put it in your saved videos or whatever, so that you can go and every couple of weeks go listen, because there's going to be another level of comprehension of what just got shared. I dropped in a whole bunch of things, and you're going to go, oh, linear, oh, spherical, oh, transfers, oh, and even if you think you're understanding it now, the aha realizations that come through the body later are when you're actually seeing the growth and the expansion, because you go click, 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 and all of a sudden you go, oh, I get it. Aha! That's what those aha moments are. I love those. As a teacher, that was always my favorite, when I'd be teaching groups and I see the lights go on when I used to teach meditation, and the aha, I had one go on in my son's eyes this morning, counting by tens with my 7-year-old, not starting on even numbers. Like, it was really brilliant to see the aha. I love that. And when that aha triggers, you're going to have a full body like, whoa, okay, that just took me into a different point of perspective. Now I see this clearly. What's my tagline on my Invoke Healing site? A moment of clarity can change everything. It's the truth. It is so much about that. So allow those moments of clarity to come in, the aha moments. And it might take listening to this a couple times for different pieces to weave and click together. And then you go, whoa, sync up, got it. Right on. That's what I'm here for. That's my goal is. If you're curious or have other questions, like I said, email me. My booking calendar has free 20-minute discovery calls. You get to that on the Book Now button of either homepage, dragonwithin.com or invokehealing.com. Go to the calendar and we can have a discussion. We can have a short conversation about where you're at on your journey, what is coming in. It's not a reading, but it's some insight into next steps. Like, what do you need to do? Do you need to be working on your own? Do you need to be working in a group? What different things can lay out for you? And I encourage you to take advantage of those, because they're a great way for us to interface and see if it's even a good energetic match to go the next step and do a session. Because I'm very clear, I know that people are drawn into my field for a reason, but there still has to be that energetic match of that higher level of work that sessions do or programs do. So it's a great way to get that and go, yeah, we're a good fit, or I like your information, I'm going to get something from it, but it's not the right fit for me, which is fine. You're still getting pieces from me, and that's why I'm here as a guide. So many blessings to you this day. Have a fabulous week, and send me your questions or watch in for whatever questions or topics have come in for next week when we come back together next Tuesday. All right, everybody, have a great, great week. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.